Hello, David Paul here. Just a quick video on something that went wrong and then sort of went spectacularly well. Okay, well, at the far end there, you will see that the tarpaulin is kind of draped sideways like that, and the dimensions of this thing, at the moment it's a hexagonal shape, and the spokes of this which run out are 4.25 meters long, which means that the end to end it's going to be 4.5 meters wide. And the reason for that is you can get a 5 meter tarpaulin, so that gives me 1/4 of a meter at either end to overlap. So I decided that what I was going to do is I was going to cut the end off that beam there in order to be able to pull down this tarpaulin over the edge and stop the wind blowing through at night. And I finally sealed that off. It's getting warmer in here. Last night was really lovely. It was I had the stove on and it was beautiful. So anyway, what happened as a consequence, I sawed it off and it was attached to a tree above, outside, roped onto it, and of course that is no longer supporting it. But it doesn't matter because I've got that A-frame there which is a sort of like pit prop type thing holding it at the moment. But of course I forgot about the fact that it could tip sideways now. It was free to do so. So what it went and did is the whole roof tipped down and dipped down to there. There's no possibility of this collapsing on my head because there are limits to how far it can fall because I've got this wall around here. Okay, so it tipped down, and then at the other side, in a previous video I mentioned these A-frames which are exterior to the building. The A-frame dropped off there, it tipped off that one. So nothing was supporting it. Oh my god. Terrible, eh? Well, what happened is I've got this support here, which was over here, and that tipped sideways. So that was just barely supporting it. So what I did is I took one of these A-frames and I have put this here. So this will take the weight of the whole roof and it'll be fine. It cannot tip any further in that direction because it's like tilting against that wall there of the earth bags and also the earth wall. It will not go in that direction any further. However, as a consequence, it's tipped about 25 centimeters too far that way. So it does need to come back. So what I'm going to do is to stop this tilting back and forwards business. I'm going to take one of these A-frames that I've already prefabricated and I'm going to fit it in the center here, but I'm not going to cut it. I'm going to retain its dimensions, but what I'll do is I'll put a wider beam at the bottom there, which will mean that the whole thing will come down shorter to accommodate the height here, and it'll support it. So, and I'll flip it over upside down, and then I'll be able to reuse it because I haven't cut it, and then I'll be able to fit it in here, and that'll stop this movement that goes in those directions of the roof. Okay, so then I'll have to pull this beam back into line, sort of tow it along, which is no problem because I've got the jack now, and behind there is a tree that I can push against and push it along. So all's fine. At the back, that the beam that support there which was holding that up is now tilted over. But you'll see that the top of the earth bags, if it fell over any further, it would just land on the earth bags. Not a problem. Okay, it just means that the accommodation in here would be a bit low. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get another earth bag and put that there. Then I'm even going to remove that. So that part of the roof will be supported on an earth bag at its periphery. I'm cutting the lengths of all of these beams left, right and centre to the 2.25 meters, which means that the the bits sticking out of the cabin which are causing a lot of problems of me not being able to seal the place against drafts and stuff. So, for example, over there, that's just open to the world, you know, and I'm losing a lot of heat through that. But as I said, last night it was absolutely beautiful in here. I really enjoyed this cabin last night. So you do all of that, but here's the amazing discovery. I was never, when I built this thing, I started building it and I started putting material on the top, and then it started to get a bit difficult to move because obviously you've put so much material up there. So what choices do you have? Well, I can dismantle it all and move the angles of the roof to the perfect position that I want it to be at. I wanted it to rotate a little bit here to line up better with the sun. And I decided, well, I'm stuffed. I'll just accept it the way it is. I'll just suck it up and just, it's not perfect. I'll just accept it the way it is. But then I went outside as a consequence of this mishap, right? And the A-frame, which is outside there, which it tipped off and fell off. The roof has tipped off and fell into the perfect position. So the whole damn thing is like set itself up perfectly. And all I gotta do is put these supports in, keep on working, just keep working on it, and everything will be dandy. And the whole thing is just perfect now. And as I say, when I get rid of these little bits sticking out here and get rid of these stupid beam things running across here, left, right and centre, it'll be much better. So I'm so pleased with that. Ironically, so pleased with it. And it's lowered the profile of the roof a little bit, and I think I'll leave it like that for a little while. It's, you know, making the place more camouflaged, get less attention. What else? Yeah, that's it. So, oh yes, that was the other thing. Since the last video I made, I've put a lot more of these crosswoods in over here. When these are at a proper appropriate height, the ceiling will then flatten out and it'll become flat. Like they're all out of line because they're not being properly supported, but they will be as soon as I get the stuff worked out. I'll be replacing this with one of these 4-inch beams, this one here, and yeah, and that's going to be just fine. So there you go. It's going well. Things are going okay. Life is going okay. It's getting warmer. It's getting brighter every day. There's the sun shining out there. It's warm at night. It's pleasant. I'm cooking on my stove. Oh, and by the way, when the whole edifice tipped sideways, obviously it tipped the stove, so I'll relocate that stove tonight, or even pull the roof back into alignment. I may not pull the roof back into alignment immediately, but I will do eventually. But anyway, I've got to straighten that out, and then back to the, back to the drawing board. Just carry on keep doing what you're doing, it's just going fine. I was getting a bit despondent because I wasn't getting work, and I got a call from my agent saying that she's going to give me a ring, and I assume that's going to lead to some more work because I got this £4,900 to pay off on my debts. The mortgage is basically gone in Portugal, and so I'm of a mind to just jump ship and go to Portugal now, and or the Philippines. So got to raise a bit of money for that though, but things are going well. So you'll be able to watch my videos of what I'm doing in both Portugal and the Philippines on the projects that I'm doing there. My ex-wife phoned me and said that she thought I shouldn't build a house on the land that I got up there. She gave me some other land, which is 200 square meters on Samal Island. You can Google it. It's in Kaputian, the capital city of Samal Island. It's called Samal Island Garden City, a tourist area. And I was a bit miffed about this. I thought I was getting pushed out there, and I've reconsidered it, and I think I'm overreacting. And it could work out really well, because it gives me a small project to work on and get that done, the building a house on Samal, and then I can revert back to the other project later on. She says she's not going to stand in my way on that one. So here we go. It rained tremendously last night, but it was only for about an hour or so. It really hammered down, so things are getting better. We're not moving into continuous rain weather. We're getting into the situation of having showers now. And so anyway, as Elon Musk says, you know, that you only really, you learn things by doing stuff, you know, and he questions people who come for jobs, and he says, how did you do this and how did you do that? And he asks them about their methodology, and he says he can tell whether they did it or whether they're just taking credit for something that they never did. And it's true, you know, if you live this, you encounter all the problems that you could never make up, you know. Like last night, for example, I bought a new bag for 10 quid, a small backpack, and I left a sandwich in it, and what happened? A rat came in and chewed a hole in my backpack. So these little things that you're never aware of that you're going to encounter when you start doing projects. And there are a million things like that, like where you take a shower, where you go to the toilet, what you do, endless, you know, where you get water from. So anyway, so much for that. I've talked a lot longer than I wanted to. So see you later. Ate logo. Makita tayo sakana. Jesus be with you.